Hello friends. Today this is part 2 of our leaf tutorial. So I thought we would go ahead and paint that. Hold on, I'm getting my drawing up here. Let's see. Okay. All right, so here we go. Yesterday, if you joined me, I showed you how to draw your own leaves. I will also create a little kit. They're $5, and thank you so much for those of you that are buying them. I get about $3, and I save up those $3 per kit when I get them, and I buy more supplies and fun things. So I'll put the little drawing in here. After I paint, I will make a swatch sheet with my colors and any notes I might have, and you can just download that and go ahead and create your own. But you may not even need the drawing because you may just use that technique I shared with you yesterday. So let's go ahead and paint these. Now what's fun about fall is these leaves can be so many different colors. I've seen them purple, red, orange, greens. They're beautiful. And maybe today we'll even mix in some of these MeiLang palette metallics, which you know I've been sharing and enjoying. I loved their small palette so much. I got their large one, and it's such a great beginner palette because it has all these pre-mixed colors in it. Now, you don't have to get this one with the metallics. They also have this one, which I started with. I mean, look at all the use. I've been using this for about 4 months, and it comes with all the same colors, just not the metallics. Such a great beginner's kit, and I've tried lots of inexpensive paints, and these are just beautiful. They're made with crushed pigments and other additives. They're not going to be exactly like Winsor Newton, but I can't afford to paint with Winsor Newton unless I'm doing a commission or something like that. For my daily painting, these are perfect. Today, I'm also excited to share with you. I'm always sharing my little Artisto pad that I love, and it's so great because you can create these little booklets for reference for the seasons, maybe a whole booklet of animals or sketches. And the paper is so nice. It's not 100% cotton, but it's got a great texture, and I just love it. And I've tried a lot of paper for my workshops and things like that. So today I just got my Artisto pad that's 9 by 12. So thrilled to get this. I wish I was affiliated with them. I'm not, but love their paper. So here we go. I've already drawn my 4 leaves on here. I'm going to use both my 8 Princeton round, and these are Velvet Touch, which I love because they just feel nice, and my 6 long round Princeton Velvet Touch. I always share with you, if you're a beginner and don't want to invest in these Princeton brushes, this is an awesome set. It's the Dugato, and for about $12, $13, you get all of these various sizes of round brushes. I've been using these for about 6 months, and they are really a phenomenal brush. And I've, again, tested out a lot of brushes. So I'm going to use my Princeton, though, today, and I've got my 2 containers of water, 1 to wash my brush, 1 to rinse. So important that you're not carrying over that paint into the next paint. And this is a great little water well from Meeden. I'm loving all their products right now. If you've ever used just lightweight glasses or something, I've tipped them. It's a nightmare. So this one is nice. It's heavy. Their ceramics are beautiful. And then I'm going to use this palette right here, which is also one of their palettes. I have their large palette, but this is their kind of smaller one. And I love it because the wells are very large. 1 second. I cannot believe I decided to do a video at the exact same time and my gardeners just got here. My gosh, you guys, what are the odds of that? Anyway, okay, so I've drawn my leaves on here. I've used my little black pearl wing. I love these pencils. I've shared them with you before. I tend to go through my pencil erasers really quick. These have a replaceable eraser, and they're kind of cool because they're thin, so you can get into small areas. I apologize again, you guys. I hope you can't hear that gardener. Darn it. So anyway, I'll link those for you. They're a great little pencil. And today we're going to mostly be working wet. My gosh, I got black paint on me already, and I haven't even started. We are going to use mostly wet and wet, predominantly wet in here because I want a very washy look. Now I'm using, you can use a paper towel, but I have a white towel here that I'm going to blot off on, and that's what I'll be using. All right, so I'm going to start first, and you can do this two ways. You can either cover your leaf with just damp brush, meaning that you're wetting the area, but you're not creating any petals at all. You're just dampening the area. It's nice and shiny, but no petals. So I'm just going to wet the entire area of my brush, and the paint is only going to travel to where my water is down. So just making sure I get all the way out to the tips of those brushes. Okay, now the fun part. And come up with your color palette first, because when you're working wet and wet, you don't want to be taking the time to create those paints, because when you come back to your wet leaf, it's going to be dry, and you're not going to get that beautiful wet and wet effect. So I just went in real quickly and re-wet a little bit, and I had some orange on my brush. I think the other color I'll maybe use is maybe a brown. Yeah, I like that brown. So I'll use that too. Now I should have mixed these previously, as I just told you. And let's get a fun olive green. That's just one of my favorite greens to use. There we go. These are, if you can see, they're moving in my palette. That's the perfect consistency I want, so that they're somewhat light value and very movable. So there you go. Let's get into this as soon as possible so that it doesn't dry, and then I'm not going to be able to achieve that wet in wet look. We could even add some yellow ochre. So look at how beautiful that is, the wet in wet. It's flowing, it's just gorgeous. I'm going to add in some oranges. I found my leaves here are just all different colors. It's quite amazing. Mother Nature, she's incredible. She's like the perfect artist, isn't she? So look at that, how fun already. Look at the beautiful colors. Just love that. Let's go into, let's see, what other colors should we add in? We could add in maybe a gold, yellow ochre. That's pretty. Something like that in maybe one of the other leaves. But I think I'm going to leave that one just how it is right now. Maybe just drop in some little dabs here and there. There we go. If you want to blend it more, you can certainly use a straw and just blow on it, but I think I'm quite happy with that. I might add in a little bit of a darker brown, maybe right at the base, something like that. And then it looks like I may need to blow on that one to get it to blend, because my paper's starting to dry. So let me get my very well used straw here. Hopefully I'm not sticking my head in here. And you can just kind of blow it around. All right, let's go on to our second one. I'm gonna wash my brush very well. Then I'm gonna rinse it, and I'll know it's clean because if I was to wipe it on a paper towel, it's going to wipe clean. Now what I typically do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's about how I know I have a good amount of water on there, but not too much. So let's play with, let me see. Let's play with a more red leaf. So I'm going to go in and maybe do this yellow ochre. Oops, let's wet our leaf here first. Again, you're just making the paper shiny. You're not creating puddles anywhere in here. And you're adding in that water all the way to the edges of your leaf, because the paint will only go where your water is. It's going to stop wherever that edge of water is. So make sure you don't go way out of the lines, although really, you know, who cares? We're painting organic leaves. Mother Nature doesn't care. She's not perfect and we love her. So there you go. I've got my leaf wet. Now, again, have in mind the paints that you want to use and just start laying them in and watch them flow. They'll start blending around. I'm getting kind of messy here. I've got some water drops on my page. And I'm working rather quickly because this paint's going to dry. So now what I want to do is I want to go into like a reddish color. Let's just play with this pinkish color and see what that does. Ooh, now that's pretty. Look at that. In the past, when I have painted these, I mean, you could use any color you want, to be quite honest. And again, I might just blow with my straw to kind of blow some of this around. Let's add in some of that brown again. Like that. And there we go. Let me blow that a little bit. Look how pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? Those are two really pretty leaves. Let's do, how about, let's see, what other colors could we do? Let's get really crazy and do like a, we'll add some blue in around the edges. So let's do this with our, we'll go in with that yellow, oops, I forgot again. Wash and rinse my brush, and let's just wet this leaf. There we go. So we're just wetting all this area because look at how beautiful, you guys. And this is why, to me, watercolors is so magical, is so easy. If you trust the paints and the water, it will literally paint itself. I mean, those were effortless, weren't they? So let's just keep going here. I'm wetting the entire area just like that. So I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but it's just shiny. And then I'm going to go in and start laying down my color, just dabbing here and there, but not completely filling in the whole leaf. Now see, I got a little out of the lines there, not to fret. Sometimes if I have a little too much coffee, there's lots of little boo-boos like that. Just keep going in. There we go. Just kind of getting around the edges there. Look how beautiful. Let's go in with some of that orange. Again, I'll just use some of that brown. Burnt sienna, that's pretty. There we go. Look at that. And you don't have to fill every single little itty bitty spot. Okay, just play with it and leave some little white spots there. Hello, Eden, my little kitty. She just popped in here to the studio. Look at how beautiful that is. Let's add in just a tiny bit of green here. And I'm using the tip of my brush to create this little thin line like that. I'm going to add a little bit more green here. There we go. And look, how beautiful is that? I can use my straw again, or I can just blow. So pretty. These are gorgeous little leaves. You can make these coming out of your pumpkins, all kinds of fun stuff. So let's go on to our last one. And we have little pink leaves like this actually here, and I love them. Another thing, let me show you well, let's do this first. Let's finish our last leaf here. Let me go in. Maybe we'll add some purple to this one, or blue. Now this is where actually this 6 round brush might be better because it has a little finer tip. And I can get into some of these little point areas like that. Just keep going. No puddles, just a shine. And you can usually tell that because if you tilt your paper, the water doesn't go dripping off of your sheet of paper. So there we go. Okay, let's go into that one now, and we'll add a little bit of blue. So we'll do some blue and yellow. So let's grab our yellow ochre again. As you see, it goes right where the water is, but it doesn't go beyond. And I'm just really being playful with this, just letting it do its thing. This is where watercolors is so forgiving and so easy, almost paints itself. Just let it do with what it wants. Okay, so we've got our yellow leaf there. Let's choose a blue. Let's choose maybe, let's see what that blue is. That's like an ultramarine. It's actually a little turquoisey. I'll find the exact color for you in the MeiLang palette, but look how pretty that is. Let's just see what happens with that. Ooh, I found you got to be really careful. A lot of times blues can take over your entire painting. Just be kind of careful with it, especially Prussian blue. Wowee, guys. That one, be careful. Warning, warning, because it has some heavy duty colors. Let's add a little bit of brown to that. And see, because you know, sometimes I've noticed the leaves have these little brown areas on the edges where, I don't know, maybe the sun has burned them a little bit and they've started drying. So I'm going to just kind of do that. Look how beautiful the blue is. And actually when the blue and the yellow are combining, we're getting that beautiful green color. So I'm going to go in now with this 6 round and add the stem, just using the tip of my brush, very light pressure. Maybe just touch in again to this one too. I really love this 6 round. It's got such a beautiful point on it. You don't even have to think about it when you use it. I'm just kind of playing right now. So there you go. Look at how beautiful. You could use purples in here. You could use any color you want. I'm going to go see if I have a fun little thing I found in my art supplies. 1 second. Let's see if I can find it. I may not be able to. Let's see. It's a fun little gadget. I should have taken it out beforehand. Here we go. I found it. I don't even know what this is called, but I found it in all my art supplies. Look how fun that is. So I can wait and do a whole tutorial on this. Look, I've never even used it, you guys. It was sitting in my art supplies. Can you believe it? How shame on me. And you actually put these inks in it and paint with it, but I'm thinking I could maybe, and I'm sure you got to be careful because this little tip is delicate, but let's just see what happens if I go in and create some lines. Yeah, look at that. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I mean, and I'm sure there's other ways to get these little lines, but I really wanted to try this. And look at that. You guys, I'm so glad I remembered this. How fun is that? Let's go into this one. Ooh, look at there. So many fun gadgets. I'm gonna go here. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I love this. I'm so mad at myself. I never tried this before. I think I did actually once and then forgot about it. So it's creating these now this leaf was a little bit more wet, so it's not as pronounced. But still, oh my gosh, you guys, this is a gem. I'll link it. I don't even remember how much it was. Look how fun that is. Now that leaf is actually quite dry, so I'm not getting the marks as much. Let's see if let's just play here. Let's see if I dipped it into, I don't know if this will work. Hopefully I don't ruin our whole painting here, guys. Ooh, yeah, there you go. I'm sure the paints they give you work much better. So there you go. This is why I encourage so much, like just play, just try things you find. And look at that. There you go. How pretty is that? I think my favorite might be this one. I don't know. I like them all. All right. Well, I will have to play with this more and show you a little bit more about that. But there's those leaves. I'll put this together, and I hope you give them a try in drawing them. I'll link in the description the tutorial I did. It's like 15 minutes, if that, on how to draw these. And come on back and paint. I think this would be fun. The other thing, okay, see, this is what I do. You could sprinkle salt on these, and that would have a really cool effect. Hold on. Just some good old table salt would be really pretty. Now, these might be a little dry and could create a really fun effect. So you're not going to be able to see it here, but try some table salt on there, and it would give these little starbursts. Get creative, do some fun things and play. All right, everybody, I hope that was fun for you. I will link my trusty little Blackwing Pearl pencil with the replaceable erasers I love so much. Because what I find is I end up with a bunch of pencils that look like this with no eraser and nobody wants to use them. I'll link my paints and my palettes and all my fun little things. And I will see you all soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.